Good morning, Flosstube. It is Helen D. Today is Tuesday, August 29th, 2023. Thank you for spending some time with me today. It's been a busy day already. It's what, 10:30? I don't know. School started yesterday. Everyone in this house is still getting used to the back to school schedule. It is a double coffee day. I've had a headache for 2 days. We all need like a week. Actually, we have a 4-day weekend this weekend. So after that, hopefully we'll be kind of back in the routine. My son started 9th grade. For comparison of how quickly time flies, when I started making these videos, he was in 3rd grade. So I can't believe he's already in high school. It seems like he was just in elementary school. So 9th grade, he seemed fine about starting high school. He's very concerned about he's taking an advanced ELA, English Language Arts class. ELA is his most difficult subject because he puts that on himself. He's very hard on himself. So he has to work the hardest in that class. So he's very nervous about this class. Yet on the flip side, he's taking advanced pre-calculus, which is a junior level class. He's the only freshman in the class. He doubled his math last year so that he could take this year. He's not worried about that one in the least. I would be terrified. I don't know if I got past pre-calculus, to be honest. I don't know. I would be terrified. I haven't heard any fear or nervousness about that class. So I guess it's all with what you're comfortable with, and what comes easy to you and what you have to kind of work a little harder for. So school is in session. I have an entire list of things I need to get done around the house, some videos I want to do, projects that need to be done, things that have been waiting all summer. It's going to be busy. Fall is always really, really, really busy. And then like by January, I'm like, whew, now I can relax. So, hey, look, my finger is out of its tape. It's still stiff in the morning, but then once I've used it, it's feeling pretty good. It like the muscles and the tendons, like the break itself wasn't sore, but it was the muscles and the tendons from not being used. So that is on the mend. I've been working it with FFOs. I have a whole bunch of FFOs to show today. I have one finish, a few whips, some SAL information, some purchases, all the normal stuff, but I have a bunch of FFOs. And I'm gonna start with 5, I think it was 5. I did a bunch for Donna, my sister, because I knew I was gonna see her this weekend, and there was one that was a gift that I knew I was trying to get to her. It was first on my list for when my finger healed. So I took a little video so I could show those to you before I gave them to her, so I will insert that here. Hi Flosstube, Past Helen here. I have 5 fully finished things that I finished for Donna, and I'm going to see her this weekend and pass them off, so I just want to record super quick. I'll edit in. I've probably already told you this. Here's the things. I finished her 2 sleds that she did. These are both from Annie B's. She put out a chart at Market that had 12 different sled designs on it. So that's what these 2 are from. She got these sleds, she ordered them from 123, so they're new, but they're bigger than the old sleds used to be, just heads up. So they must have to source them from someplace else because they are larger. So those 2 are done. They're just perforated paper. I double-sided taped to the back, stuck them on there. Easy. If you ever have to do a mass amount of gifts, the easiest finish ever. This little pillow, this is a part of a chart by Misty of Luminous Fiber Arts, which I can't remember the name of and I should have looked it up. She did a whole series a couple years ago with animals, and these were her cats. She has cats, squirrels, and I think birds and bunnies. These are the cats. Donna didn't do the whole thing, she just did the 2 cats. So I finished it with some fabric on the bottom to kind of give it a little more height so it wouldn't be so skinny. And I had some buttons and stuff that matched. This trim is from My Vintage Needle Arts, and it was the perfect color as the cats. So that one is done. This is Donna's version of Flamingo Frolic, which was one of my charts that's available printed or as a PDF from Cobweb Corner. Donna stitched hers on a 14 count green, light green Aida. She used a variegated pink for her flamingo. Donna is not into pink, she's into green. So she changed out some of her flowers to be purple, and because she's not into pink, I did her backing and stuff in the purple in her trim to pull out the purples versus the pink. So that is Donna's Flamingo Frolic. And finally, she had stitched this piece. This is by Shannon Christine. Shannon Christine on her Facebook page has like a monthly group where you pay a monthly fee and you get a certain number of charts included, and this was one of them, though I believe, I'm not certain, but I believe this is now just available on her website. So it says, "You Are My Sunshine." She wanted this one as a flat hanging ornament because she's giving it to a friend, and that's how she thought her friend would best be able to use it. So that's what I did there. So I did two, like I did the front and the back on squares. I put batting on both because when I put my squares together, I hand sew them together. And if there's batting on the back as well as the front, I found that it's easier to get my needle in to tie those up. So that's that. I did do a thicker cording. Usually on ornaments I use four lengths, like four sets of all 6 strands, if that makes sense. But I had a big gap to fill, so I went with a 6 length cording, 3 of each to kind of fill that gap. So that's done. So I'm gonna wrap those up for her, and now back to whatever else I was talking about. So Donna got her bag of finishes this weekend. I have 3 more of mine that I can show that are here. So the first one, this is actually a design by Carla at Cobweb Corner. It's called This Witch Can Stitch. She released this last year. You can get it as a PDF or as a printed chart on her website. I'll put a link directly to it so that you can find it. It calls for 2 pumpkins right here, but I decided to leave those off. I loved the hat. I love the floppiness of the hat. So I finished this. Actually, I finished Carla's for her last year, and I did a tutorial on, adding the rickrack with the layer of fabric. So I'd finished mine the same. I used some Lady Dot pom-pom. So this one is all ready for the season. I have a couple things upstairs, when I pulled stuff out. I try to go through and match it up to trim that I already have. This one and the one for Donna's happen to be pom-pom. The 2 I have to go next happen to be chenille, which is not my easiest to work with. So that's that one. I don't want to bury it. Next up, this was a new start and a finish. This I made for my son to commemorate, I guess, the first day of high school. So when life gets hard, it means you just leveled up. This is by an Etsy shop, Quaternion Creations. I will definitely link her below because I'm sure I did not pronounce that correctly. So this one I stitched as is, except this was red and I changed it to purples. And this is a 6x6 frame, so it just tucked right in there to kind of commemorate. I did this one on, Carla's, I don't remember what I did it on, a scrap of gray. This is on 32 count white Lugana. So that one is done. This one I was able, this one had the back fit, so I didn't have to use the point driver. This next one, I had to have my son use the point driver because I couldn't quite squeeze. So this one is, I fully finished autumnal sampler by Little Robin Designs. Wow, in the sun you can't see the moon at all, but it's there. This is on 32 count Vintage Stormy Night Lugana. I used all the called for, this tree might have been a different, the tree I think was a different brown. The one I had wasn't really variegated, and I know I've mentioned I stitched the tree vertically. to try and get those, the bark kind of going vertical, not horizontal. So this little frame I had ordered from pictureframes.com. This is one that I ordered a while ago, so I knew I had it. I had measured, it was ready to go, so as soon as I finished it, all I had to do was pin it, pop it in, and like I said, I had my son use the point driver so that he could squeeze it and I didn't have to. So that one is done. I'm hoping to change out and put my autumn things out within the next week or so. And when I do that, I will film video. Autumn will be its own video and Halloween will be its own video because those are probably my two biggest buckets. I think they're even bigger than my Christmas bucket. So they're coming. They're on my list. I have a list of tutorials and other kind of videos. And that's on there. So I've been trying to work on my whips. But then I started a few things because that's how it goes. And one of those starts is now a finish. I wanted to start this last year. I had printed it out. It was from Punch Needle and Primitive Stitch Fall 2022. I actually had printed it out twice because that's how bad I wanted to stitch it and I just didn't get to it. So I thought I'm gonna do this year. So this is, it's called Boo and it's by Hello from Liz Matthews. And it's funny because I started it, I think I started it the same day I did my last video, and then Liz Matthews showed her new fall releases, and now you can get this chart on its own, not from the magazine if you don't get that magazine. I didn't use the called for colors. I used some of them, I just didn't have them, so I pulled from my stash. And then the one change I made, the cats have like 3 empty stitches that are little hearts right on their little back sides. But my son thought that looked weird and like My Little Ponies, so he said you need to fill those in. So they don't have My Little Pony butts anymore, they just have filled in. So this one is super, super, super cute. I used a scrap, I know it's a 16 count, oaken, doubloon. I mean, this was literally the size of my scrap, I didn't even cut it, so it was just a perfect little fit. I don't know how I'm gonna finish that or when I'm going to finish that. And I just zipped my bag instead of putting it in there, but it's done. So that's my only finish. 1, 2, 3. I have 4 whips though. One of them I didn't grab, it's in the car. I did pull back out the Harvest Hexies, which is that chart that's not available yet from Hands On Design. It was a club piece. That's my car project, and it's in the car. So it's still in the car. So I have 1 piece, which you've seen before, and then 2 new starts, although one of them I had talked about. So the one you'd seen before is I am working on Halloween Night by Autumn Lane Stitchery. On the Autumn Lane Stitchery, it's not on their Facebook page, but they have like, I don't know if it's fans of, they have another one where like people who stitch their stuff can post their stuff. It's not a business page. A couple of people have already finished this and fully finished it in that mirror with the bats from Joann's, and it looks awesome. They did have to finish it. They used a piece of backing fabric because it didn't quite fill out the frame, so I'll probably end up doing the same. I'm stitching mine on 14 count light lavender from To Die For Fabrics? To Die For Fabrics, light lavender. Her website, her Etsy shop had been on vacation, so I'm not sure when she's opening back up. I got pretty far. So last time I know I had the gravestones and the candy corn, and I had started the spider, finished the spider, I did the word Halloween, and then that top section is pretty full. I did change one of these, I don't remember which one. One of them was black on the inside and then the other 2 were yellow, but my brain likes symmetry, so I changed it to black on both of them on the outsides. I'm doing my back stitch in Sulky because it was kind of blending in. I actually took the tree out and redid it in Sulky, the back stitch, because you couldn't see it. Because like the spider webs and stuff, I want you to be able to see them. So I'm stitching this in the called for DMC. and then the sulky for the backstitch. I know I could just use 2 strands, but sometimes when you backstitch with 2 strands, they get twisted and they don't look as nice. So I thought, you know what, I'll just use the sulky, and that way it's the same thickness as the 2 strands, but it's 1 strand. So it might lay a little nicer. I'm still aiming to have this one done by the start of October. I think I can. I think, let's pull this picture back out. This section, these will be easy. This section will take some time, and then I'll probably come over here and do the crow, and then these bats, like I had mentioned, I may not do all of these rows of black. I might bump them up a little. I also decided the border on theirs is in like a brownish, a dark brownish Gentle Art color. I decided to just use black. Actually, I'm using Anchor Anchor Black. For the first time, I'd never tried it. It's fine. I don't really notice a difference, but I had it, so I thought I'll try it. So that's whip number 1. Whip number 2. This feels too heavy. Oh, it's because it's on the Q-snap. This one is my restart of the terrible picture I have to show you of Tree of Magic by Barbara Anna. This was a kit from Nitka Moscow. I have no idea if it's still available. I've had this for a few years. It was a restart because I didn't really like the fabric. It's not that I didn't like it. Since I first started it, I hadn't gotten that far, and I had better fabrics that I thought would work better. Now, I say that. I don't remember what I used. I didn't write it down. It's a Zweigart. It's like taupe or something. It's just a plain Zweigart, not overdyed. I wanted this white to really show up. So that's as far as I got, but that was like 1 or 2 days. So hopefully I'm kind of focusing on Halloween night, and then I'd like to pick this one up. I also have that Silver Quick Sampler one that I'd like to get done, but that may not get done this year. I have 2 bags. Oh, one's for okay. Hold on. Okay, so then because, you know, I was supposed to be focusing on my whips and I didn't feel like it and I wanted new starts, I had another new start. I got a gorgeous package, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes, from Robin at October House Fiber Arts. And one of the things in it was she sent me her new charts. They're her new fall release charts, including Pumpkin Row. I started this immediately because I'd like to do a video on how I do drums, and I'd like to show how you can do the drum with the fabric on the top, or the drum with the stitching on the top or the stitching on the side. This is going to make an adorable drum. She has 4 or 5 of these skinny mini patterns is what she calls them. And they'd be so cute. I've seen them as drums. They're adorable as drums. So I picked this up and I started it. A scrap, I think it's Fog from Picture This Plus. It's a 16 count. And I was doing really well. I was like, if I could get 1 pumpkin done a day and then have my last day be like the bottom, it's like 8 days. I fizzled right here. I didn't even get that one done. I picked something else up instead. I don't know. So I'm 3 3/4 pumpkins in. And there's 7 pumpkins. So this one I may take to tennis. And because I can finish this one before I do Harvest Hexies, and I want this one for the tutorial. I'm using mostly the called for colors. There was a couple I didn't have that I subbed out, like a coloring cotton, a different, you know, a different overdyed, but it's super, super cute. So this one I'm trying to like bust through. And that's what I've been working on. What's today? Today's the 29th. So I have 2 more planned starts for September, both stitch alongs, and then we'll see what else I get up to. So let's start with the Freaky Fair Isle stitch along. So this is the one that we're doing. This design is by Barbie of Pedal Pusher. Let me pull mine out. So mine is a little different because she released these last year. Hold on. As a limited edition kit at Galleria. Like only a handful, 30 maybe. So, hold on, there. Now you won't have to listen to any crinkles. So my chart will look a little different than yours when you get it because she's changed her layout a little bit. So this is Freaky Fair Isle by Pedal Pusher. And I'm doing this SAL with Barbie of Pedal Pusher and Carla of Cobweb Corner. Carla and I have done, I think this is our 3rd SAL this year. And this will be our last SAL of the year. So this is Freaky Fair Isle. Supplies are in. We were waiting on the perforated paper. This piece is done on perforated paper. You can also do it on fabric, but you could do it on perforated paper. So everything is in. Carla sent an email out last week when things came in because we had people fill out the Google form. So if you filled out the Google form saying you were interested in supplies, she sent out emails. If you're saying, I never got an email, she had a handful, 7 or 8, that came back as undeliverable because the email address wasn't typed, like there's a typo in the email address. Or she got flagged as spam and it wouldn't accept her email. So if you didn't get an email, check your spam. But next time, just triple check your spelling and stuff on your email address. So the email went out. The code is Freaky SAL, and that will give you an extra 10% off the chart, the floss, and perforated paper. So she's selling these. She has paper charts and PDF charts. The floss, it is 2 skeins. If you're doing it on the perforated paper, it's 2 skeins of ultraviolet. My shirt looked purple there, but it's not, it's blue. From Weeks Dye Works, because when you stitch on the perforated paper, you use 3 strands of floss. So you need 2 skeins. And then she's selling the perforated paper in half sheets. This is where mine is different too, because mine is just a little bit. When Barbie put them together, she did smaller chunks, but Carla's doing bigger chunks because that way you don't have to worry as much about your counting and if you have enough. So this is mine. Like I said, yours will be a half sheet of the black, which you can completely see through, the black perforated paper. So the code I will link below. I'm also going to link the email, like the written out email of what Carla sent, so that she walks you right through the way she has to put it on her website, and if you want to add the different things, if you want the printed, if you want the PDF, if you want the floss, if you want the perforated paper, like it'll walk you right through. Couple of things. When you order, if you're getting the PDF, you should get an email with your order confirmation like pretty immediately. On the bottom of that email, and I'm going to show you mine, is your download link. So we did like a test one. We always do a test one to make sure everything's working. So like here's my confirmation email, right? There's the chart and the floss. Actually that was, I don't know, I can't read it upside down, but way down on the bottom, click here to download, right? It's green. So that's where you would click to download your chart and print it out if you got the PDF. So a couple other things she said, if you're using your phone to order, sometimes you have to click on, when you're viewing the cart, you have to view the cart in order to add the coupon code. Hold on, she sent me a picture, which will probably be a little more. So if you can't find the coupon code and you're on your phone, it shows up different on your phone. Down here on the bottom, right under proceed to checkout, it says coupon code, gift certificate number. So then you would, this is just a picture so I can't, but you would click the little button and then there would be a spot. So again, I will put a link to Carla's kind of walkthrough down below. The other thing, let's see if she's not on right now. If you're having issues, Carla is trying to be like on her phone, not on her phone, on her website. If she's on her website, and she's not right now, but if she were, there would be like a little bubble down here to show that she was like online, and then you can just click on that and message her if you're having problems, so that she can get right back to you immediately. You can always email her if you're having problems with your order before you place the order, so that she can make any changes that you need before the order goes through. It's called live chat. I don't know if it says live chat in it, but it definitely, like, it's there, and it has a little 1 to show that she's on. So we are starting this September 15th. No, we're not. September 12th. I can't read my own handwriting. My handwriting says the 15th, but I swear we said the 12th. September 12th, because it's a Tuesday. September 12th. I might need 3 coffees today. In the original, one more heads up, if you ordered this already and you already have it, in the original set, when Barbie did her charts, her charting program was set to charting on a 16 count instead of a 14 count. So her stitch count is accurate. But when it told you how big it is, that was basing it on a 16 count, and the paper is a 14 count. So it's 7.5 inches wide and then 2 3/4 high. So when you get your paper, you'll need the whole width, and then you can adjust how high it is, but you'll need the whole width. I'm going to do a video hopefully later this week to upload at the beginning of next week to show how I'm going to prep my paper, and not this. I have another half sheet that I will show to kind of show how I'm going to prep it. If you've never stitched on perforated paper, share a couple tips, that kind of stuff. Chantel got back to me about the backer that I showed last video with the moon and the stars. That will be $16.95, but it's not on her website quite yet. So hopefully that will be there soon if you were interested in the backer. She also just released this really cool panoramic one that goes with a wood die needle and a hands-on design pumpkin. And like I said, if you're paying shipping anyway, combine everything all at once, pay shipping once. So that's that. Only other thing about that, if you're placing your order, the Freaky SAL code will give you the 10% on those SAL items, but you can absolutely add other things to your cart at the same time, including a Bewitching Pixie. So the other stitch along and the other start I have coming up is for our hashtag Nora Corbett Witch Along, and I am going to be stitching Eva by Nora Corbett. Carla just got a shipment of these in, of charts, not just this one, although she does have this one. Some of the bead packs are on back order from Witchelds because they're having supply issues, but the charts are in, and you don't bead until the end. So if you wanted to add one of those in, I got my fabric cut yesterday. I'm using Night Sky Brandy from Mystic Fabrics. It needs an iron, but other than that, I'm ready to go. I had a couple people ask, they said they've never stitched a Nora or a Mira, and they didn't know if I had like any tips. I do all my stitching first. I usually start in the middle. I do a center start because they don't have a border. So it's hard to kind of count over, right? I'd start them in the middle. I do all my stitching first, and then my back stitching, and then the beads at the very end, because that way I can give it a press after I do the back stitching and then put my beads on, and hopefully it doesn't need as much ironing after that. The other thing to keep in mind is sometimes some of these charts have, and it's hard to show you from this tiny picture, they have some fractional stitches, usually along the arms and sometimes like the face. So I know if you're an Aida stitcher, because I've stitched them on Aida, it can be difficult to do some of those fractional stitches. I say do your best. When I did Raven, I know I didn't have all those right, but then you backstitch around it and that kind of hides your mistakes. So it's to give them some shape and some definition. So just keep a heads up that if you see some like weird symbols, it's because it has some fractionals or some half stitches to kind of give it some shape around those edges. So that's kind of all I can offer you for tips. They're really not that bad. They look intimidating, but there are blocks of color. I think they're fantastic. So if you're joining us, the hashtag is Nora Corbett Witchalong. That one is starting September 1st, which I think is this Friday. I'm ready. Whew. All right, I had a little happy mail. Cynthia and Terry both sent me some giveaway charts, so thank you very, very much. I've tucked them in my giveaway bag. They won't be in this video because this video, I have something special. I got a package. I got a gift from Robin at October House Fiber Arts. She had contacted me and said she was gonna send me some charts. She wanted to send me a pumpkin fair and a pumpkin fair to give away. That's what I was expecting. She made me the cutest, oh, hold on, Emmy can't reach your water. She made me the cutest bag. So Robin just did like, she told me she called it something. She did like a little summer celebration as a thank you. So she made some of these kits that she gave away on her blog and on Instagram. So as a way to say thank you for supporting her. So she sent me one of her gorgeous bags. And in the gorgeous bag, it was the Summer Jam kit. So she sent me, it was a little Post-its. This is another one of those charts that would be super, super cute as a drum. Hold on, things got kind of mixed up. So it had a couple of fun chenilles. I'm getting better at them. And then she put in there for me a kit of this chart. So this is called Summer Jam. This is available as a free chart on Robin's website, which I will link, for the month of August. So after the month of August, she's gonna take this down and then she'll release it next year, probably at market. So Summer Jam. And she put the flosses in there, and then she has the finishing, like all the stuffs. This is in my spring plans, absolutely. I actually have further planned for it, but I'll keep that to myself. So that's in my summer plans. Then, oh geez. She sent me Pumpkin Row. She sent me Pumpkin Fair. I love this. I love this color. I looked at what it was. Now I can't remember. But I just think it's so sweet. It's like a seed. To me, it looks like a seed pod. So Pumpkin Fair is the new one in her fair series. And we did Strawberry Fair, we did Honey Fair, so now there's Pumpkin Fair. When I start this might be an October start. I'm going to use hashtag Pumpkin Fair, and we were using hashtag October House Fair SAL, so that then you could just keep going, because she's gonna have more. So she sent me Pumpkin Fair, and she sent me her other one, which is Coffee and Pumpkin Pie, which is really cute. And some extras. So, hold on, we'll see these again in a minute. So thank you so much, Robin. I said you completely spoiled me. I was expecting, like, you know, a chart. So, tuck all this stuff back in. All right. So that was my happy mail. I told her I'm not a quilter. This is like one of the prettiest bags I own. Look, for her jam, first place ribbon. How cute is that? So purchases and giveaways. Purchases, I was being good, and then I really wanted some of this fabric, and the place I found that had it was Backorder Shop. So this is called Forest Frolic. It's by Robin Pickens, and I got a couple different ones. So I'm using this for some finishing fabric. I might try and make some bags out of it, but I really wanted some of that, and fabric kind of goes, right? They make so much and then it goes. So since I was ordering fabric, I threw in Harvest Tiny Town. And I threw in the frill. And I'm wondering if I can put that fox in place of that chicken. There's a chicken. Whoop, there he is. I have nothing against chickens, but I prefer foxes. So I'm gonna see if they're the same size. And then I also grabbed the new Wee Santa 2023. So that was my purchases. And that's it. And then giveaways. Let me get situated. Giveaways. We have a last call for Kathy Adams, who won the Celebrate chart. And then, just making sure I have things in order. We had, last video I had 2 charts that were donated as always by Carla at Cobweb Corner. So we had number 1 was Autumn Dream, and that's going to Marilyn Furlich. Marilyn, that was not right. F-E-R-L-I-T-S-C-H. So that's Autumn Dream. And number 2 was Beggar's Night, which is Daniela Redlin. I will list my email below. Reach out to me, let me know you won, which chart it is, and your address, and I will get those out to you. So for this video, I have 2 charts donated by Carla at Cobweb Corner. I always link Carla's Flosstube down below. She's been showing a lot of restock videos of what she has in store and her regular Flosstube updates, so you can give her a like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it if you're a subscriber. You need to be over 18 so you can legally give me your address. Don't say win or giveaway. So number 1 is Halloween Cat by Satsuma Street, which actually I have stitched and Carla is stitching. So I love this chart. When I did it, I left these, I think I left both of these wispies off because I had a frame with a circular opening and it fit better. So number 1, just leave the numerical number of what you're interested in. Number 2 is something for those primitive stitchers. This is Halloween at Hollyberry Farm from Stacy Nash. So that's number 2. And then courtesy of October House Fiber Arts, we have number 3, Pumpkin Fair, and I will pull 2 of those. And number 4, Coffee and Pumpkin Pie. So these should be, I don't know if she took part in the Needlework Marketplace, but those are shipping. Those are shipping to stores now. So if you're interested in one of those and joining us in October. I don't know if we need an official start date. I'm thinking around, for me, I'm thinking around October 1st to kind of get some of this other stuff done. That's it. I feel like I had a lot to say. I was powered by coffee number 2, so I had a lot to say today. Like I said, I'm gonna have autumn finishes, Halloween finishes, perforated paper video, drum video, and then I have a couple other finishing videos that I will get to over the course of the fall. But those are like the coming up relatively soon. Those are my relatively soon videos. So thank you for spending some time with me. I'll go get this uploaded and get everything put away. And if you have any questions, always let me know in the comments below. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.